What up, tubers? Yes, your old pal JACKHAMMERMIKE with another lame video. It's Friday night. A well-deserved Friday night for yours truly. Let me fill you in on what's been going on and why I look like an Elvis right now. Over the last couple of weeks, we've had a couple dudes get fired and one guy quit, and we went from 4-man crew to a 1-man crew plus the boss, which is about, I was gonna say half a guy, because if Scott ever sees us I don't want to rag on him. No, Scott works his ass off way harder than I do. But we went from 4 guys plus the boss to 1 guy plus the boss, and I have been working for the last 3 weeks pretty much non-stop. Work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I've been busting my ass to pick up the slack and do some of the stuff that we have to do. So finally we got a guy. We've got another guy who starts on Monday, so things are starting to calm down a little bit. This is the first weekend I've had off for 3 weeks now, which is why I look like this. I can't get to my barber. I usually go Saturday morning on my day off, my weekend off. I go Saturday morning, either before we go, I take my son to Airsoft or whatever, and I go get my hair cut. So right now, I apologize for looking like a hippie, but it is what it is. You do what you gotta do, sacrifice for your job and your company, and my boss loves me, his wife loves me, and not in the way you get your mind out of the gutter, not in that kind of a way. She loves me because I'm there in a pinch. They've always been able to count on me. They help me, I help them. So, you ever have one of those days that you just can't wait to get home? This one is probably doubly exaggerated, just because of the fact that I've been working so hard and haven't had time to fart, basically. And oh, pardon me, eye candy for the day. No firearms out here. Eye candy for the day. Yes, dehydrated fruit. Compliments of the contingency plan. Yes. Oh, is this stuff good? We scored on a dehydrator, and that's our first batch. It wasn't bad, so I think that as we progress and as we get better at it, it's just going to get better, and that's not bad at all. Oh, excuse me, it's not bad at all. In fact, it's really, really good. Kiwis, I think, are the best. I like the strawberries. I like everything. The pineapples, the peaches. I don't know if there's peaches or apples. I don't really think I tasted those. In my bag, this little one up here in front, I was picking at it last night. I got kiwis, pineapples, some bananas, and stuff. I think we have some growth. I think we have to research it some more. There's some ways to preserve fruit like that and all to make it, give it a shelf life. And the citric acid is important in that process. And so as we progress, we're gonna get it wired. The fruit is awesome right off the bat. For our first attempt, it's awesome, and TCP did really good. Thank you, TCP. Taco, thumbs up, dude. 2 thumbs up, and 2 snaps up if you're a friend of In Living Color. So you did good, dude. Thank you for the dried fruit. So, you ever have one of those Fridays or one of those days that you just couldn't wait to get home? The gun show was a dud show on my last video. That was last weekend. I was about to buy a Mossberg 930 JM Pro Series shotgun. JM standing for Jerry Mikulik, and Pro Series 22 and 24 inch shotgun, a 9 round and a 10 round, 8+1, 9+1. When I got to the gun show, they were very lacking in any of that. They were also lacking in pricing because their prices sucked at the gun show. Save yourself some time, folks. Unless you have experience, you know, other than what we've got, Crossroads of the West, they've got stuff, but their gun shows suck. Well, I won't say their gun shows suck. Their pricing at the gun shows suck. And I don't think Crossroads of the West has anything to do with pricing. I think they put together a bunch of vendors, and the vendors are in charge of their pricing. Now, I will be fair and say that the vendor that I was going to get the 24 inch, because they did not have the 22 inch, the 9+1, they had a, 8+1, which was the 9 shot. That was a 22 inch JM Pro Series shotgun. Max, get over here. Come here. They only had the 24. Okay. They were going to actually give that to me at the same price that I got the 22 inch on Gallery of Guns. Gun Genie, Davidson's, they're all the same. Okay, that's the same website. Gallery of Guns is pretty much the best pricing that I've been able to find. Unless you go to, you know, some of the online, shit, I can't even think of it now. Auction sites or whatever, the people that are selling them privately. You got to watch those prices. They might be cheap, but if you have it transferred, because you got to have them transferred, you can't just go and have them sent to your house. You got to have them transferred to an FFL in your local area, and then they're going to charge you for a background check, and they might charge you for handling and stuff like that, so you have to add that to the cost. Gallery of Guns does not necessarily have that. They have a price, which is a bit low, and then you add taxes and handling or whatever, and there's your price. However, that price is a lot better than what I saw at the gun show. Frick, that shotgun was probably about 50 to 60 bucks. I don't even remember how much more expensive that was at the gun show. And then they're like, well, it doesn't include shipping, and that doesn't include this and that, and it's like, yeah, it does, dude. It does. Believe me, I do my research, and you should too. Do your research. Don't be that guy. I want this shotgun. I'm gonna go pay whatever I can find because the gun show has the best prices. No, they don't. Absolutely not. In fact, I got into an argument with a guy who was selling 223 ammo, and he had it for $28.99, basically $29 for 100 rounds, 55 grain. They were probably reloads. Okay, now I got factory ammo, Federal, 55 grain from Natchez.com for $28.99. Basically, I got 1,000 rounds for $280.99. Is that what it was? Yeah, $280. Basically, it was about 28 cents a round, and then I started researching it, and the shipping was about 31 bucks, but I got free shipping, so that brought it down to almost 25 cents a round. Okay, yeah, 1,000 bucks or 1,000 rounds is sometimes a little bit, you know, much for people to absorb. But dude, you know, that was a smoking deal. I mean, you look at price per round. Okay, price per round. Yeah, if you want to get it down a little bit, you don't want to pay 30, 32, 34 cents a round, you're going to buy 1,000 rounds in a lot. Now, I'll tell you, I will only use that for target shooting. My primary round for self-defense is the Barnes 85 grain hollow point that I have. Match grade hollow point, 85 grain. But shit, that stuff was like 40 some odd dollars a box. 4 or 5, 20, I only have to, and it was a 20 round box, so I got one mag with that in there, 20 rounds, because it's so damn expensive. I'm always on the lookout for 62 grain ammo, and no, not the lead or the steel penetrators, steel inserts, whatever, steel core, the penetrator rounds. No, I don't want those. They are not accurate at, you know, distance. 62 grain, Aguila sells a 62 grain lead core round, and I'm not picking my ass. I'm trying to tuck in my buttons on my wallet. They have a 62 grain lead core, full metal jacket round. Okay, so it's a heavy hitter, a little bit heavier than a 55 grain. It's not a 77 grain, but 70. I don't know if you priced them. 77 grains are expensive. The 62 grains, the Aguilas, I can get them for about 14 bucks for a box of 50. Something like that. You know, about 30, 32 cents a round, something like that. And every time I see them, I get them. I get them. I've only got about 600-700 rounds stored, plus all my mags full of them. But it's a heavier hitter than a 55 grain, and 65. Or yeah, the 65 grain is what I've got my, or 62, I'm sorry, 62 grain is what I've got my scope zeroed at. Well, my optic. It's not a scope, it's a hollow sun. So 62 grain is a little bit heavier hitter. Don't use steel. The penetrator rounds, because if you think you're an armor piercing, you're full of shit. You don't know what you're talking about. It's got a steel core in it, and when they put that steel core in and then pour the lead around it, just a slight, pardon my French ladies, cut hair of difference in how it's sitting in there is going to throw your bullet off. So I prefer all lead. I don't like the steel core penetrator rounds because it makes you a badass. Shut up. It's not. It's not. It's a 55 grain is going to go just as deep as a 62 grain penetrator round. A 62 grain lead core is going to go just as deep. Yeah, you might get a little more penetration from a steel, but yeah, whatever. You're probably talking maybe a little bit of body armor at maybe 25 yards, 25 feet, something like that. Stop it. The 62 grain penetrator rounds makes it sound all badass, and I've got armor piercing ammunition. Yeah, shut up. You don't. It's not armor piercing. It won't pierce any armor. Guaranteed. You might get body armor, maybe. But whatever. That's not subject for a different day. So, what I got going on is, now that my little rant is over, getting back to the subject, you ever had one of those days you just couldn't wait to get home? You know? I want to introduce YouTubers to the new girl in my stable. Yes, I have a stable, and they're all full of girls. Love it. And in this day and age of the Kavanaugh hearings and the crap that's going on there, and how do you think about that? By the way, what do you think about that shit? I feel bad for Judge Kavanaugh. I think they're totally hosing him. Democrats, if they have their way, they're never going to let him in. And it sucks because we're in charge. The conservatives are in charge. Trump is in charge. Conservatives have the House and the Senate. And it's our game right now. Democrats ought to shut up, get out of the way. Whatever. Anyway, I want to introduce you to this beautiful girl. Now, my friends, guys especially, but girls, this apply to you too. You ever have a girlfriend when you were growing up, or you gals, a boyfriend when you were growing up? And I'm not talking, you know, boyfriend kissy stuff. When I was young, growing up in my cul-de-sac, there was a group of kids that we all hung out, and it was a great place to grow up in Southern California before it got trashed. Now, when I was growing up and I was a young wee lad way down here, I had a girl who was like my best buddy. And you guys know what I'm talking about, or some of you do anyway. You had a girl that you knew that was kind of like one of the guys. And before you got all weird about it, and before the PC crowd and everybody else made it all weird, you just thought she was just one of the dudes. You didn't think that she was a dyke, or she was a butch, or she was weird, whatever. She was just one of the dudes. She was just a tomboy. That's what they used to call them back then. Oh yeah, I had one. Now, my new girl, I'm not going to fondle her like I would with this beautiful girl here. Okay, the Colt LE 6920. I can fondle her all day long. Oh yeah, I can fondle her all day long. Oh yeah. Okay, and you notice I've got the magnifier off. It's over here because at night I can't see shit and it just gets in the way, so it just adds weight. Take off the magnifier, and I haven't put it back on yet. The next 2 days, no, Sunday, 2 days from now, we're going to go out in the desert and re-zero. I'm going to bring this sight back a little bit and then put the magnifier on here. So I got a pretty good gap right here, and I want to bring this back. But I fondle this one. Yes, sir. I fondle her. She's a delicate critter, kind of. She's good to me. She treats me good. I treat her good. I fondle her. This beast, I will not fondle. No. She will not be fondled. She will not be handled lightly. She is all girl, all rough, all brute. Yes, my friends. This is the Mossberg 930 SPX tactical shotgun, and she will not be fondled. You have got to manhandle this beast or you're going to be sorry. Okay? Now, at the gun show, I was telling you that I'm probably going to shine on that bigger one, just because there's no way I am going around the corners of my house or anywhere else with a 24-inch, 22-inch shotgun. This beast is 18 inches, 18 and a half inches. Rounds limited, 7 plus 1 in the chamber. Okay? She is somewhat of a lightweight gun. About 7-ish, I think 7 pounds or so. She's not super heavy. She doesn't have real thick thighs. She's very slender. Yes, very slender. And she's a dream to shoot, I think. I don't know. I haven't shot it yet. Stand by for this weekend's shenanigans, because we're going to go out Sunday and shoot, zero in some stuff. And I'm going to play with her a little bit. Give it a little foreplay. Yeah, we're going to have a little foreplay with this bad boy. So, this is my new girl in my stable. I will probably call her Carol, or maybe not. I was just thinking about labeling it Beast Mode, because this thing is just freaking crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Carol, when I was growing up and I was a young lad, was not my first crush or anything like that, but she was a girl on my street, a couple years older than I was, and she was my bud. You know, we were very tight on that street. It was a cul-de-sac. We had a lot of kids there. And Carol was my bud. She was a chick that would be my dude, buddy. Did everything together. And Carol was a beast. And she wanted to be treated the same way. You know? She wasn't dainty. She was just like one of the guys. And total tomboy. What I did, she did. When we went shooting, she went shooting. We went fishing, she went fishing. We went camping, she went camping. She was just a total tomboy, but she was a girl. First chick I ever played doctor with. Oh, I probably ought to block that out because I don't want the PC police to come after me. I don't want to get sued down the road. I might be running for Supreme Court one of these days. So, there it is. Mossberg 930 SPX. Told you when I was leaving the gun show that I was going to shine on that bigger, badder, heavier freaking piece of crap, and not a piece of crap. It was a good gun, but it was just too big, too heavy. And this one's a little bit more compact, a little bit easier to, not so much easier. They're all the same. Semi-auto, you know. I gotta tell you, it's got a sweet, maybe a 3 to 4 pound trigger pull on it. I will tell you this, if you ever buy one, do this. I'll hold in the bolt release and I'm just going to cycle it. I'll just cycle it. I've been doing this, I got this actually on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. I've been doing that all for the last couple of days. Every time I get it, I'll do 50 pulls just to get everything broken in. I mean, why fire 50 rounds, you know, or 200-300 rounds? I can do 500 rounds. I've actually probably done almost 1,000 just by sticking with it like this. Because this is what you're doing. You're basically moving the action the same way you would if you were shooting it. Yeah, okay, yeah, well, you don't have a powder and blah, blah. It's like, whatever. It's still moving. The action is still moving the same way it would if it was getting shot, okay? Don't matter. But you want to just break in all your shit, okay? Break in your stuff. Get it to move so you can see the wear marks, where you need to lube it, and all that fun stuff. Move the safety. I've got the safety moved, you know? Yeah, I don't move it as much as I probably could. It's still a little bit sticky. And I'm getting a blister on my thumb because of it. But yeah, just move the action back and forth. Boom, 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 boom. Move it, move it, move it. You know, simulate shooting 500-600 rounds through it. It'll start to loosen up a little bit. Everything in here is tight. The spring in here is tight. The gas assembly, or the gas tube and everything hasn't been, well, there's no gas tube, but there's a piston. None of that has ever been used yet. But you're moving the action. You're just moving everything, getting it seated, getting it, whatever little rough edges they might have on there, the microscopic rough edges. Mossberg makes a solid rifle. So, you know, there's not a lot of rough edges on it. But it's still a brand new gun. It hasn't ever been shot. So, you want to take the action, you want to sit there, grab it, wear a pair of gloves. Just boom, 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 boom. You know, move that shit. Get it fucking working. Then take it apart, which I will do tomorrow. Take it apart, clean it, and lube it, okay? Doesn't take a bunch of lube. I think I have to have some dry lube here on this piston. I've never had a semi-auto. Well, I had a Remington 1100, but I didn't know anything about the gas assembly or anything like that, so dry lube is what I hear is recommended for a rifle like this for the most part up in here. A little tiny bit of lube down here, nothing much. I like to use high temp bearing grease. It's cheap, but it's high temp bearing grease, okay? It's made for high temperatures, which you would have in a shotgun or any other rifle, and it's just a small microscopic layer of this spread on these parts that you have rubbing is going to go a long way. I also use Slip 2000 for some of the intricate parts. And other than that, there's no lube. I got to look into a little bit of dry lube on this thing. Max, come here. Come on. Good boy. Hey, you're so good. Yes, you are. You're so good. Say hi to the tubers. Hi, tubers. What up, tubers? What up? Yeah. All right. Stay in the yard. I lost my Zippo the other day at the gun show. I think I probably just set it on the table and I forgot to pick it up. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, that's it. So, meet Carol, actually, aka the Beast, or Beast Mode. I don't exactly know yet what I'm going to call her. I'm going to do a nice paint job on this thing. A skull pattern and desert tan, desert flat darker. I don't know yet. I'm looking into a couple of different patterns. I don't think I'll do riptile on this. It's going to depend. But this is Carol, my new girl in my stable. These are heavy field loads, number 4 shot, bird shot, or just number 4 shot. This is mostly for turkey and pheasant. What is this? 12. It was 12 something FPS at 1220 feet per second. This is Winchester, 1325 feet per second. That doesn't mean crap, but it's double aught buck. So these are my, these are 15 rounds a box, 25 in here. So I'll be shooting these. I'll shoot this. I'm gonna save probably this. So I've got, 8 rounds here. Actually, you can do a 9-round ghost round in here, but you can't do that in combat. You're not going to. So you just consider this a 7+1 rifle. But there's 15 rounds in a box, and I'm gonna sling some double aught buck with this. And I should have bought some slugs because this has a ghost ring sight, and it's got, I'm not sure I really dig the front sight yet. It's kind of got a goofy AR type of copycat thing. It's not quite an AR sight. It is a fiber optic, but generally I'm probably going to throw a hollow sun on there because of the pattern or the optic on this thing. It's got a horseshoe around the it's a 60 MOA or some shit. I don't remember what it is. It's got a horseshoe around the chevron. This has got a great optic or a great sight picture for close quarter combat. So it's way better than a red dot. A lot cheaper than most red dots. And hollow sun 503G ACSS. Great optic. Love it. Love it magnified. It works really well on this M4. I'm going to probably pick up another one and put it on here and get rid of that sight. I don't think I can remove if that's brazed or glued. I don't know what the fuck, how they stored that on there. If it interferes with the hollow sun, I may just get rid of it. I don't know. I had this at one point co-witnessed, lower third co-witnessed, because I had the flip up sight here and it was lower third co-witnessed on this. But when I put the magnifier on there, I didn't have any room for it, so I had to get rid of that. And I'm totally relying on this and my magnifier. All I can say is just keep a spare battery somewhere. Keep a spare battery. This is supposed to have a 50,000 hour life. It does. Well, I think the battery. This sight here, this hollow sun, just for your information before I go, lasted me about a year. Okay. What it does is it automatically turns off when it's not in motion, and the minute you pick it up, it comes on. You just have to tap it. All you have to do is tap anywhere on this gun. This thing will come on. But the battery that was in here probably wasn't that great. It came from the factory, so it wasn't maybe all fully charged. But supposedly you got about a 50,000 hour lifespan on a CR123 battery, whatever the fuck it is. And I'll probably end up putting that on there, on here. Couple final thoughts. It has sling mount here and here. I may screw a quick connect in here I don't know. I haven't found a sling yet that I like, so baby needs to be blinged a little bit. I don't have a side saddle on here yet. I'm not digging the fact that side saddles go through the 2 pins for the trigger guard. Whether that changes tolerances or not, I don't know. I'm thinking, I've seen some side saddles that you've got the 2 holes here. I might put them on this side, because how I reload is this way, in. I'll either pull them off my vest, off my side, in. If I put it over here, and if I put them over here and pull them out downwards, I can have, 6 rounds, boom. I've seen some 8s, but it's going to be heavy. This is already a heavy gun. Okay, it's not 8 pounds, but it's 7 something, and it's heavy. And that's not including being loaded. And if you load it with double-aught buck or slugs, yeah, she's going to be heavy. She's going to be pushing 9 pounds. So you don't want a whole ton of shit on your rifle. I definitely think I have room for a mount right here. I've seen a couple of them so far that I can mount a pick rail, I can mount a sling, and a light here. I definitely would like to have a light, because this is a house gun. Okay, house gun or out in the desert. Speaking of out in the desert, our first run, you saw the devil bird and the rattlesnake fiasco. Neither one of us were carrying shotguns at the time. I guarantee you, if we ever come across something like that again, his 20 gauge, my 12 gauge, one, that bird, devil bird, is going to be a pile of feathers, and 2, rattlesnake is going to be beef jerky sitting on a spit over a fire, because there's no way we're missing with this kind of a nonsense. So, number 4 birdshot and double-aught buck. Stay tuned for Saturday or Sunday shenanigans, because TCP and I are going out, and we're going to go and try and lay out a somehow tactical run and gun, some bullshit thing. I don't know. Him and Sappers want to do something totally different, and it's like, okay, what's your gig? Whatever. Let's do it. I'll do my run and guns. You'll see my run and guns coming up here. It's getting to be October. It's still September, but very late in September. October 1st is Monday, and the weather is already starting to cool off a little bit. We were 105 today, which is why I'm sweating my balls off right now. We were 105 today, 101, 102 tomorrow, and then Sunday we're supposed to be down to 97 with a possibility of rain, and then Monday 87. Oh, that would be so fucking cool. Down to the 80s again. It'd be so nice. So, with that, I am out.